Hello, dear students. Today's theme is teaching listening skills. We know that listening is very difficult skill. So, what should we do to teach our students for listening skills? Now, students, look at our PPT. So, here, of course, we should have some purposes. Let's look through them. The first one is listening for gist. The second one is listening for specific information. The third one, listening for detail. And the fourth one, inferential listening. So, what are they? The first is just listening for gist. This is the listening task which students should just understand what the speaker talking about. Just the whole idea. The second one, listening for specific information. It means students should work on finding some specific details or information according to the listening task. And listening for detail, this is about numbers, dates, the special data which students should find out or analyze during the listening task. The first one, inferential listening, it means the listener should understand and feel the speaker's emotions and his attitudes, and of course, the aim of the speech. The next is why listening is difficult. That's a very good question because it has some reasons. For example, the first one, characteristics of the message. So, as you know that we cannot have any kind of listening task for our students because we should take into consideration their knowledge level. So, for the beginner level, we cannot have the listening tasks which have more than 3% of new words. So the limited amount of new words for the beginner level is 3% of new words for the listening task. And characteristics of delivery. So it means who is talking. If that man, women, or children speech. So we should pick up all the listening tasks according to our students level. Of course, we should use men's, women's, and also children's speech because our students should understand not only just one person's speech but also everybody's speech. The next is characteristics of the listener. In this case, we should know our students' psychological position. So, some students or some pupils are really eager to learn foreign language and they have the real good memory. But some other our students, whether they want to learn or not the foreign language, but they may have some kind of problems with their memory. They may have short memory. Yes, in this case, we also should have put the listening task 4 2 times. The second one, characteristics of the environment. So environment is also crucial for our teaching listening tasks, for using listening. Why? Because even the situation of the students' sitting position is also important. The the our devices which we use for our listening task is also should be in good condition. Even the windows in the classroom should be closed because while listening there should be no noise because it could bother our students. The next one, how to teach listening. With the help of what kind of methods or techniques we can teach them. So the first one, bottom up and top down approach. Then we should take into consideration the listening text, listening source, and of course activities like pre, while, and post listening activities. So let's look through them turn by turn. So, bottom up and top down approach. What does it mean? The bottom up approach emphasizes the decoding of the small units, phonemes, and syllables to lead us toward the meaning. For example, the first thing is to teach our students to understand the pronounced words clearly. And top-down approach emphasizes the use of background knowledge to predict the content. It means the higher level pupils will work with top-down approach because while listening, they should understand the message. What is it talking about? Not just the understanding only one word or just the translation of the word, but also the meaning of the message. The next one is listening texts. So what kind of text could we use for our listening activities? The first one authentic material and the second one pedagogic material. So what is authentic material? Authentic material refers to the use in teaching of text photographs, video selections, realia, and other teaching resources that were not specially prepared for educational purposes. It means we should bring to our classroom real real life objects, real life utilities. For example, we may say we may use real menu for making dialogues for our students. We will have our students make dialogue like if they are at the restaurant with the help of real menu and pedagogic materials. What are they? These materials actually are used by the teacher according to the textbook or from the textbook in order to use them in our lessons. So the difference is really understandable, yes? The listening sources. What kind of sources we know? So the first one, of course, teachers talk. Yes, and the second one, students talk. Even when we have them to work in individually, pair work or group work, they will listen each other and understand each other. And the third one, guest talk. What is it, guest talk? Some days we will have maybe any kind of guest from the foreign country, and also his speech or her speech is also acceptable for the listening source. The next is textbook recordings. Here we use lots of recordings which are set for our textbooks. So the we may say authentic reading sources are internet sources, television, DVD, radio, and of course, songs. The next is pre-listening task. So, what is it? Why should we use pre-listening task? The first one, brainstorming. The second, visuals, realia, text or words, and students' opinions. So this is like pre-activities, pre-listening activities. Why should we use them? We should use them because we should get acquainted with the material. Yes, and we should help our students to understand or to discuss about the new thing with each other. Next, while listening tasks. In this case, students will work for searching some kind of details, maybe times, dates, or numbers, or maybe they will spot the difference, or maybe teacher could stop or pause the listening task, and students will predict the end of the listening task. And of course, the last one is 12 questions. So students should understand what are they listening and answer to the questions like what, why, how, when, etc. Post listening task. So what is it? This is very crucial part because in this part students actually will summarize, will check, will discuss their understanding about the listening task. They will have any kind of creative responses or critical responses. Like what would they do if they have some kind of problems or some kind of situations according to the text or listening activity. So, guys, I think today's listening task, task activities, and our theme was very helpful for you. And see you soon. Goodbye. Have a nice day.